Hey, the diva is dirty. So I'm dirty because every Saturday I volunteer at the Habitat for Humanity. And I do that because in August of this year, my family was selected to receive a home through that program. So it's a world renowned Christian based program, and their goal is to end homelessness. So it was a pretty arduous process. So I had to complete an application, submit the last 2 years of my taxes, current pay stubs. I had to um, write a letter to them stating why my family should be selected. And it was based solely on homelessness. And though I'm college educated, have 2 degrees, my associate is in corrections administration from CCAC, and my undergrad degree is in administration of justice. I graduated at the University of Pittsburgh 2004. So even though, I have this degree, I have nearly 16 years military experience, what, 7.5 years in the Army Reserve, 8 years in the Navy Reserve. Um, I did not have good credit, so I knew a traditional bank would not give me a mortgage. And so I applied for Habitat for Humanity. And when I got the news that my family was selected, it was, to say the least, a sigh of relief. I knew that I would have to build my home and build the home of others that were partnered with Habitat to receive a home. I was more than elated. It was a sigh of relief. It was a weight lifted off my shoulder because it's not just bricks and mortar. It's a building that will house my hopes and my dreams. It will allow me to foster those hopes and those dreams. But more importantly, it's my forever home. And it's the end of a perpetual cycle of homelessness for me and my family. So I can just go to sleep now with peace in my mind and peace in my heart, knowing that one day I will be given keys to my own home. And this will be the first home that I've ever owned in my life. It's a 3 bedroom um, home in Duquesne. There are 2 other homes on the same site that are being built. And I know each homeowner. One young lady is a single mom like me, and another participant, he's a single father of 3 boys. And I don't take it lightly that my family was selected, because they could have chose so many other families instead of mine. But God gave me favor, and he said, no more homelessness, Shalisa. No more homelessness for you and your daughter. Because my daughter and I have lived in shelters. Um, when I was a little girl, the first time I remember going and living in a shelter, I was probably about 4 years old. And due to circumstances beyond my mother's control, she was not able to give us a place to live. Even though she worked very hard as a CNA and an LPN, um, she was a single mother of 2 and struggling to make ends meet. And sometimes there was more month than there was money. And we found ourselves in that situation. I grew up living with relatives and sometimes strangers or people from our church. And there were times in my life that there was stability and we had a home to live in, but there were many days that I would come home from school and my mother would have everything that we owned packed up in bags and boxes sitting at the front door, and she said, we have to move today. And so I was always moving from one part of the city to the next, always a new kid in school, um, always having to start over. And every time we moved, something either got lost or broken or stolen. And so I lost so much through the years. And I thought it was normal. Like, I thought everybody's family moved constantly. I just did.